year, and we're excited that it's moving forward with activities just as these forums and events that will show the relationship that we're building between Kenya and St. Louis. So I'm excited to hear what's going to happen today. Thank you.
Great. And then I think what I'll do, let me introduce the group. And then on our St. Louis panel, we have Stella Gugi from Hazelwood West. Stella, you want to say hi?
Hello, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon. My name, as he said, my name is Stella Gugi. I go to Hazelwood West High School. I am a senior, my last year. Yeah.
Good. And thank you, Stella, for the good work you're doing. The next person is Greenspan from Hazelwood West. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Greenspan. Yeah, actually, I'm a sophomore that attends Hazelwood West High School.
Next person will be Amalia. Can you hear me? You don't have to be on the camera if the camera has a problem.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Amalia Mina. I go to Fort Zumwalt East, and I'm just here to let you guys know me better.
All right, good to have you. Good to have you, Amalia. The next person is Zoe Mapara from, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Zoe Mapara, and I am a junior at Ladue Wharton High School.
Awesome. And then we have Lee. Go ahead, Lee.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Lee Kongo. I go to Marquette High School. So nice to meet all of you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lee. We appreciate you being part of this. Then probably from there, we will go ahead and have the Kenya team. But Betty, you can go ahead and introduce yourself first.
Okay. My name is Betty Ngoe. I'm the Taita Taveta County Diaspora representative.
We are from Dr. Agri High School. And Madam is representing.
Is fixing our video.
Is fixing our video.
Madam is fixing the video, okay.
And you said, can I have your name again?
Naftan Ngoe.
Naftan Ngoe from, okay, Dr. Gray Boys, right?
Dr.
Yes, and Maglory Mondoe. Maglory Mondoe.
Mondoe, okay.
Maglory Mondoe, yes.
Okay, that is fine. Anybody else from the Taita Taveta?
I know the chief of staff from the office of the governor. He has been trying to get in, but he's really having issues. Let me see if I can resend him that link.
That is fine. As soon as they log in, even the others, when they log in, you can let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just keep on going. So the next person I will invite is Zalipa, who is also the leading person for the Sister City Project, to be able to go ahead and introduce herself and share a little bit about the Sister City initiative.
So good morning, good afternoon for those who are in Kenya. Happy Mashujaa Day. This is great. This is a forum towards the Sister City Project partnership that we've been working on between St. Louis, Missouri, and Voi, Kenya. And the main purpose of Sister Cities is that global integration that we are trying to have. And this first session that we're having combined started off with education, with schools, which is no better way to start than start with education. That is the main foundation. And we know how Kenya values education. We know how the whole world values education. So this is really good to have this partnership started with education. And we are looking forward to having many more projects coming along between Voi and St. Louis. As per the feedback we got a few months ago, we need to cultivate this for about 2 years. We are quite done. We are quite gone. So about maybe another year and a half, so that we can be fully crowned as sister cities. And then after that, we can enjoy that collaboration, easy collaboration between St. Louis and Voi. We are also lucky as this is going on. For those of you who know who are in Voi, we also know Dr. Eunice Wahome, who is a medical doctor, might also be visiting us in a couple of weeks. We're trying to see that's possible. She'll be in the country, and we are seeing whether she can visit us here in St. Louis, and I'll share more information as we get it confirmed. And that will give another collaboration towards education. So these things can learn concurrently. I will say, because I'm not gonna stay the whole entire time, I am on vacation at Costa Rica, and we have activities planned. So I'm gonna be dropping halfway here. One of the things I would like to request is when we have these meetings between Nairobi, Kenya, and the US, we always have delays in starting or delays in technical delays. I would always request, like Masai, like Jeffrey had said, try check your system 15 minutes early. Try check the time 15 minutes early so that we all get started and have a smooth flow. So students, welcome. Students from Voi, welcome joining us. Students from St. Louis, I know all of you, welcome. And I look forward to having a great integrated and a lot of discussion today. Again, my name is Zelipa Gedoi. I run my business, Gizeo Fair Trade, improving livelihood of families in Africa. I'm also in the chamber as a board member and secretary, and I'm co-leading this Sister City project. And we look forward to a lot of success moving forward. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Zalipa. Appreciate you for that. Now also joining us when you're already far. It tells me how committed you are on this project, but also on the improvement of the quality of life in our communities here in St. Louis, but also in Africa. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If we get more people from Taita Taveta who had not introduced themselves, you can put on the chat so I can know who is on there. And then we can be able to at least incorporate them in our discussion.
Okay.
Great. So for the purpose of this meeting is we will just jump into it. And this is called African Diaspora Youth Forum, which hopes to bring the high school students in a dialogue around key issues in their communities. The goal is to raise the awareness and support for diaspora youth and African youth to build understanding between the two groups in the process of common ground, strengthen ties, and promote cultural exchange. So we'll jump into the questions.
Jeff.
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question? Can we recognize Anne Bale is there? She
joined
our liaison at the World Trade.
Awesome. Yeah, we told Anne,
Center. She can
Linda.
just say hi.
Yeah, Linda.
Yeah, Anne, can you just?
Yeah, Annie, please.
Sorry, I was just trying to listen. Hi, everybody. My name is Anne Mbale. I work with the World Trade Center here in St. Louis. So Sister Cities is one of my projects. I'm the project manager at the World Trade Center. So, and like I told Jeffrey the first time we talked about this, my goal is to add another sister city to St. Louis. And I'm not gonna lie, it's one of the reasons why I'm still staying at the job. Yeah, so I'm here to listen, and I'm excited that we are already moving and proving that this is, and it's something that can be possible. And my boss is very hopeful because right now we have like 4 pending sister cities, and we are the only one that she has made, so which is good.
Okay, I would like us also to recognize the chief of staff for Taita Taveta County, Pamphile Mwakio. Please, if you could just say a quick hand. You are muted. If you can remove, you are muted. Remove your mute.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay now. I hope you can hear me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening from our side here. So we've had some few challenges trying to tune in, but finally I'm here, and I hope the others will also come a long way. We'll come along the way rather. We have Dr. Agri, which is already in, I believe. We are waiting for Mary Girls and our county executive committee member, that's the Minister for Education in our county, will be joining us shortly. And I'm happy to be here. I'm glad, and I'm waiting to learn more about the same.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Pamphile Mwakio, yes, and I'm the Chief of Staff of this Taita Taveta County, and for this matter, Voi.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you too.
Yeah, I think it's always great to see people like you joining, taking time to be with us. Anybody else from that side that have just joined before? I mean, after?
Anybody who's coming from Taita County?
Or anybody who's joining from Kenya?
Yeah.
They're still trying to join up.
Okay.
So the moment they're here, I think I'll make us aware that they're in.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
You
can put on the chat. You can let us know on the chat. Okay. So let's jump into the questions. And the reason why I really wanted to bring it in the format of a panel Q&A question is it's going to be able to help us to touch broadly on what we want to cover in our conversation today. We do have a program we have been doing with the high schoolers here, going to Kenya and doing some service projects there. And if there is anything that I've really seen that has great impact in terms of their leadership, development, in terms of their social skills, but also helping them embrace who they are and connecting them to their home country is also those trips that we've been making over the years. And I would hope that maybe next year we can be able to do another one. Hopefully we can be able to visit Taita Taveta. So if you're there in your high schoolers and you really want to see something that you can make that will have a lasting impact in your life, I would recommend to you to think about that and join the group. We'll just jump into the questions. Is Arinola in the forum yet? I guess not. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the questions. And this one I will just direct it to Stella. Stella, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great. The question is, how has your cultural background influenced your identity and sense of belonging in your current environment?
I feel like my cultural background I feel like in the past, it hasn't been shown as much because back then it wasn't like the norm to be African. But now, like, a lot of people listen to Afro beats or wear our cultural attire. And I feel like because of resources like Viteno for Africa or African Chamber, it has changed a lot. And that has changed my cultural background and accepting where I'm from, and even having a friend group that's from Africa and having friends that are African or that really really change my acceptance of being African.
Great. That's thank you for the answer. You, Greenspan, you want to add something there?
I think Stella really said it all. Recently, with like the movies and the music, people have been getting into our culture more. So I think that when people want to see your culture and want to see you for your true self, that makes you want to show yourself more. But other than that, Stella really covered it all.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen gone to events, Cardinals in downtown, and I hear them playing Afrobeats, and I go to some restaurants and I hear them playing that, and it can tells you there is a great integration that is happening around. Yeah, so let's jump into the second question, and this I can start with Greenspan. What are some of the unique challenges you have faced in balancing your heritage with the cultural norms of your current society? And I think when you do that, Zoe can also jump in on that.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
What are some of the unique challenges you face in balancing your heritage with the cultural norms of your current society? What has your challenges trying to balance being the son of a Kenyan man living in the United States?
There's a lot of them. I guess the main one is staying true to myself, to who I am. No matter what my friends or what other people want me to do, I know I'm a Kenyan. I know I'm Black, and
I am a man. I can see your hat.
Yeah, I am a man. There's been some struggles. There's been some struggles. Like claiming to be an African. That hasn't been something I did, something I was proud of for a lot of my life until recently. So I guess just staying true to who I am and knowing my culture, but not being closed-minded to the fact that I'm in the United States and this place is filled with a bunch of cultures, and being able to balance my culture with being able to connect with other people of different races, different backgrounds, different countries. That has really been my support, having different people from different countries speaking different languages, interpret things different. That's what really makes it able for me to balance my culture with what's happening in the United States.
Awesome. I agree with you. Very, very true. Zoe, you want something about that? And you're on mute.
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
I'll say, what has been your challenge being an African girl from Zimbabwe and you're in US? How has been balancing between those cultures? How has it been affecting you, in a way?
My one big struggle is that my accent is slowly merging with the American accent. So I am slowly losing that Zimbabwean identity, the Zimbabwean accent. But I just talk to my relatives abroad and then I can hear it and it comes back. Another thing is that in Zimbabwe, it's normal to speak Shona to everyone, but here it's English. So I'm slowly adjusting because sometimes I just start speaking Shona to my American friends and I assume they understand it. And another thing is that the ways of education, they're very different because back in Zimbabwe, I went to a boarding school back in Zimbabwe. We had school from 4 to 9, 4 in the morning to 9 in the evening. So a change is that we have school from 7 to 2 now. So from 2 to 9, I can still study like I used to in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Great. And I like your accent. I'm really impressed that you still keep up with your Shona. I hear sometimes even in the group when you bring when the Shona in yourself kicks in, then people can know you can feel your presence. Great. Let me go ahead back to, I'm going to jump into the people, my friends in Kenya. If we can get maybe Naftali and is it McGlory?
Recording in progress.
If
Present.
if you can hear me, then please go ahead and jump in on this. What are some of the most pressing issues facing young people in your community, and what do you think can be done to address them effectively?
Like peer pressure.
I agree.
That to engage someone in drug abuse, sexual immoralities.
Yes. And to me, it is unpure ways of using technology. Technology can be good or bad, but young people use technology for bad issues. For example, watching porn, addiction, drugs. Yeah, it's my time.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Man, I like that the way you've answered it, because if I said that, if I'm the one who did that, they will not. But coming from a young person, I really salute you for that answer. It is it's a challenge. We all know about it. And the young people, I think they all know about it, but sometimes they may ignore it. But maybe to respond to that, what do you think can be done to address that problem?
It can be done by, like, parents should not buy phones early because it will discourage a boy. A boy when he is in teenage stage will be attracted to opposite sex. Hence, he or she will be will want to engage in sex,
Yeah,
but will not find that opportunity. Hence, watching that porn, influencing himself in that habits.
I agree. Very strong point, man. Parents, if you are here, you're listening, right? This is a great advice coming from, I love that. I think the exposure also is what's actually influences, like you said, that early exposure to bad behavior is what influences young people to do, to go back into bad stuff. So thank you so much for that feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's jump into the next questions, and maybe I can go back to my team in St. Louis. How this one I can direct it to Lee. How do you stay connected with your roots and culture while adapting to a new cultural settings? How do you stay connected? And also, Amalia can also jump into, contribute on that question.
So usually how I stay connected, I like to, keep in touch with the people back at home. And also I also have like a big Kenyan community here in St. Louis. So I like to always keep in touch with everyone here in St. Louis who's also Kenyan or African, whatever they might be, and make sure that we just like have a big community, and then we're keeping in touch with each other so that we're not losing sight of our cultural background.
Very strong point. Yeah, sometimes people trying to stay away from their community and looking all the negativity that they can associate with being that part of that community, and give them the excuse to stay away from them. But I think, like you say, staying connected is very important. But and also participate in different activities and forums that brings you people together, just like being here today. I think it's a big plus for anyone who was able to wake up and being here to learn and connect with people in Africa. Like you said, the bigger part also is just making that most simple phone call. You have cousins, you have grandparents, you have uncles. Being able to stay in touch with that simple phone calls means a lot. Amalia, you want to add something on that? How do you stay connected?
He said a lot to what I was thinking. Like I just try my best to like stay connected with those that I know around me. Like I hang out with a lot of Kenyan friends whenever I can, even if it's like I try to also check up on them so that way I know how they're doing. But besides that, I also like just try to engage myself more into like the music my mom plays, the clothes that she randomly gets, but it's very beautiful, like clothing. So it's like nice to know where it comes from. And I just engage myself in the history of it all.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Let's jump into the Kenyan team, and maybe if we have any additional people joining, that's fine. After Ali and McGlory, I think you would be representing our team there. But what opportunities do you think are crucial for advancements and empowerment of African youth, and how can they be more accessible? So what can we do to help the youth, our youth, and maybe in your school or outside the school? What can we do to help them build their leadership and helping them to be successful in life?
To sponsor outside countries and I can say that to sponsor outside countries.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
And me, yes, to me, through exchange programs like this one. For example, this one. This one is very helpful because one will go there, exploit himself with those children who are in abroad, so as to know how life is and to know how they study to differentiate with Kenya. Yes, one will get that opportunity. It's very helpful. Yes.
Awesome. I agree. I think this exchange programs helps a lot, and giving people different opportunities to those who can travel. We hope that we can have more students who can also travel. I've seen some programs through AFS. I think Annie Bale may have an idea about that. AFS program, they also sponsor students to travel and go study for us. I think a semester or a academic year.
A semester, yes.
Yeah. So I think we had a couple of them that have come here in St. Louis, and I think building, like, I agree, connecting them to some of those opportunities, and even our students also traveling to your country, to Kenya, and connecting with you is a great thing. We can be able to. I like your advice on that. I think maybe we can have somebody from our team here in St. Louis. You answer the same questions. What can we do here to help people in fellow young people in Africa? Zoe.
To help fellow young people in Africa, I think, well, this is an example for starters. It's very helpful because people in Africa will learn of the ways of America so that when they come, it'll be much easier to adjust. Also, I think we should, as friends, we should be there for one another because, sometimes some of the people in America think they're too good for the people coming from Africa, but we should humble ourselves and accept them. And another thing, after school, we can study with them, go to their house, study with them, explain to them how the teachers teach, explain how the questions are asked and how to decipher the questions and so on.
That is true. I think that you touched a point that I really also wanted us to hear, and I would want to hear from the rest of the panelists in St. Louis. we've had people migrate from Africa and they come here and they have a very struggle trying to assimilate and connect in the community. And you mentioned something about that, but I want to hear from the rest of the team. What are you doing individually or whatever you think can be done to make that life for those who are coming in and transitioning in this country? What can we do to make their life, particularly the kids, the students in high school may don't understand about education system, ACT. I've had somebody who's just about to graduate and he's asking me, what is it I'm hearing about ACT? But what can you do, or what are you doing to help that transition be smooth and easy? Maybe we can have Amalia, and then Ali can also jump in on that.
I want to also attach this to the stuff that you do, like being able to have connections and being able to introduce just sort of prepare them for the future, show them the opportunities that are out there and how they can build themselves better, introduce them to people. I feel like doing that will just help it run smoothly. And say they're they don't know what to do and they don't know who to talk to, you can introduce them to a community of either Africans or people from their country, and they get along pretty well.
That's a strong point. Yeah, connecting them to giving them that sense of community is good. Lee, you want to add something on this?
Yeah, kind of like what Amalia said. You kind of have to take them under your wing and kind of show them the ropes of how it works here in America, because it's totally different back home in Africa. So basically, just making sure understand all the different things that goes on here in America.
Absolutely, yeah, because they need the friends and being able to the closest person who understand their struggle, putting yourself into their shoes and helping them. It's a good way to do it. Let me just jump into back to Stella. What do you think are some of the misconceptions people have about your cultural background and how can you address them? Maybe that could be addressed to the parents, that could also be addressed to the students. How do you address some of those experiences at school?
There are many things that people say that they think of Africa, like how they think we don't have water, or they think we don't have shoes, or we live in these tiny houses that we make ourselves. But really, when people go there for vacation or they go there for mission trips, they don't really see that. They see a different picture that they don't they see on social media. And I feel like people always have this type of norm that they see on social media. So when they go there, they think, oh, this is how it's going to look like, but really it's not. And I feel like we could change that for them, where we could change that on social media. Instead of people seeing how kids are struggling in Africa, they could see a bigger picture than just that, because those kids who are struggling in Africa are really happier than the people who are living luxurious lives.
I agree. That is true. Let's jump into our colleagues in Kenya. Mr. Naftali, what initiatives or projects have you personally or your group been involved that have positive impact on your community, and what lessons have you learned? Is there something that you or your group is doing to impact the school or the community that maybe you may want to share?
By using technology positively.
Mm-hmm.
This play a role in connecting the universe with.
We use technology in the right way. you search for, like in study, you study wide things. You study wide ahead, like searching for scientific projects. Like you study how robots are made. Like I myself, my dream is to become a robotics. So
Awesome.
yes. So as I Google many times searching how robots are made, how robots are useful, such sort of things, but not watching these crazy things. I can say that. Yes, that's my test. Thank you.
That
Thank
is
you.
that is awesome. But yeah, technology, you can also use it in either way. You can also use it in a good way or in a negative way. But like you said, it all depends on how you wanna shape it to your life. You mentioned about robotics, and I think one of the things that we are also doing here, we have a group that is also doing robotics. And I think one of the goals that I have is to see if we can help start a robotic club also with your team over there. So maybe one of your teachers can also keep in touch with us and see how we can help help you start a robotic club. I saw there is a Kenya, they entered the first Lego League competition that we are participating here, but not many schools have been able to enter into the competition. So hopefully that's something we can be able to work together and do that. Let's go back to St. Louis team here. And maybe this, Stella, now that you've popped in here, this will be a good one to hear from you. What ways have you yourself contributing to the advancements of both your host country and your country of origin? What are things that you're doing here that is really impacting life and back in Africa? And I know you have a lot to share about that.
I do have a lot. I have my last trip to Kenya, I did a missionary trip where the Catholic church that I go to, they contributed on it and they gave me money to go to Africa. And I was able to feed the kids on the streets in Nairobi City on Christmas Day. And I even went to a orphanage called in Nakuru, where we brought them diapers, food, and it's an orphanage for disability kids, where kids that were brought into this life with disabilities and their parents weren't able to help them and to take care of them and didn't have the resources to help them. They brought them to this orphanage where they took care of them. They feed them, they wash them, and there we were able to wash them, cook for them, play with them, and even like just stay with them in general. And that really opened up my eyes to how Kenya really is. And even on the streets where we gave the parents and the kids food to eat on Christmas Day. We gave them bread, milk, sugar, flour, and even food. We made our own special food. We made rice and githeri, and we gave it to them. And if you looked at their faces, they had this bright, they had this like face that were like they were happy, and they felt like everything changed in their life in just that split second because they were fed that special day. And also going to the orphanage in Nakuru really opened up my eyes, because those kids, when we brought them flour and rice, they were really happy because the next day was Christmas and they were able to eat chapo and rice and stew on Christmas Day when they haven't had chapo in so long, because they're not able to afford it. So just those little things that I bring from here all the way to Africa really change changes really changes me.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Stella, that's I was following those great things that you're doing, and just initiative, even just approaching different people. That tells a lot of leadership and willing to help. And we always reminded that happiness is only through the service to others. And I've heard even Oprah Winfrey say that she's done a lot of charity work. She's done a lot of stuff, but the most impactful way where she felt her purpose, fulfill her purpose, is when she visited South Africa and she was able to start a school there. And just interacting with the students there, she always says that's her most impactful, important hard thing that she feels has ever done in life. And just seeing you doing it at this age, I can't imagine what you will be maybe in the years to come, and seeing the things you're doing here in St. Louis with Traction and Youth Leadership Program. So you represent what I see many of you doing here in St. Louis, and all of those people who I see them here. Keep up with the good work.
And the disability orphanage is called the Good Shepherd in Kenya. There's also other places that also have it. There's one here in the US. I can't remember what state, but they do have one here. There's one in South Africa, and other places in Africa that also have it. So you could just search them up and find them online.
Okay, great. That's us. Greenspan, do you want to add something about that? What are you doing, and maybe that helps you to impact in the community here?
For me, it's just being who I am, showing the little kids that are getting older that no matter where they come from the slums, they come from a rich part of Kenya, Nyeri, Kiambu, Nairobi, that no matter where they come from, that you can be who you are, be what you want to do. Nothing's impossible as long as you're with God, you're under God. If you're with God and you follow his footsteps, everything under the sun is possible for you.
Awesome. And I like what you guys are doing, the group for the youth, like you say, connecting and staying together is one big way to impact life. I've seen you guys doing a mental health program and helping fellow young people, because especially right now when dealing with the mental health issues, which I wanted to ask a question on that, but I wanted to mention that there is no other person who can help address the issue of mental health than the fellow young people. You understand each other, you know what you go through, you know the struggle. You can see and identify when somebody is going through a rough time. And the only person that they can count on is you as a friend. So being that person that they can count on and reach out whenever they need and have somebody who can they can open up to without fear of judgment. I think let's build on that. Let's build on invest on building those relationships and helping each other. I understand you all coming to my house today to have fun. That's fine. I love when you guys are around. So I always say that that's your social way to build those system. Address the issue of loneliness. And it's what are you doing to help address some of those social problems that you have in the community? Anything that the school is doing to help the community?
To me, just when I play tennis, it really helps me in sharpening my communication skills on how to relate with my friends. Those friends who I relate to them very closely because of sports. And I abstain myself from dogs, sort of that, and people from other villages who I don't even know. We communicate by engaging in sports like tennis. It even helps me young to spend my free time, my leisure time. Because sports really helps. If not to sports, I mean, maybe now could be drug addict. I could be a drug addict. But playing tennis has really helped me in achieving my challenge than being unnecessary behaviors such as drug abuse, sexual immorality, and such things. My friends even get opportunity to advertise programs and act as a source of income. And they influence me to the community to have a positive attitude to my talents. And back at home, I've got a PS, a PlayStation, which it includes computer games and other innovative games like Magic Boards, GTA, Grand Theft Auto, and Illuminati that I developed on my own. My friends come far from other villages, other communities, other clans, from far to play, which sharpens my speed and their speed and ability to think, which helps me a lot in my studies, can be innovative. When I try this like mathematics, I'll think very fast, I'll be innovative, I know what to do. Yeah. Then there's opens an avenue for inventing my own devices, equipments, and other things. As I said earlier, I want to be a robot, I want to do robotics. So that will really help me. Thank you. That was my time.
Wow, that's really nice. I'm really impressed to hear what you guys are doing. And I think sometimes we think that people have to do a lot, but I'm glad you mentioned that how sports is a way to address some of the social challenges in our community, particularly for the young people. Getting them involved in sports and getting them engaged in more productive way is a good way to prevent them to be a liability, but to be an asset in our society. That's a big way to actually to really contribute in our community, in our society. And I see a lot of young people here who are helping. I see Sam here, I see Amalia, Brian coming and Greenspan coming to our soccer program, because engaging young people with sports, it prevents a lot of bad things to happen in their life, but also keeping them busy and engaged with friends. That's awesome. So keep up with the good work.
Thank you.
In there. I think when we come next time, hopefully we can be able to play some tennis with you. And like I said, we'll try to see how we can help also bring in that robotic program at your school. Hopefully you can be able to be in charge of that. I see the passion that you have in it. I will open up. I see Stan is free right now. I will open up anybody who has a question or a comment from the audience. This is your time.
Well, I was going to say that I really enjoyed listening to this discussion, and I definitely agree with a lot of, basically every point that was made. And I think one of my, the one that sticks to my head the most is what was said earlier about the preconceived notion of how Africa is like. It's people here, they think Africa is, full of jungles and people live in huts, but they're too uneducated to see what's actually the case. I mean, if, for example, an average American was to travel to Kenya, for example, they would see buildings everywhere, skyscrapers and vehicles, all this technology, and I'm pretty sure that they would be extremely surprised because some of them even think somehow that Africa itself is a country instead of a continent, which goes to show how completely uneducated they are.
Powerful. That is really true.
Absolutely.
Sai.
Listen.
I agree. That's a very strong point. And I think what you mentioned is what I will also put it as a challenge to all of us is that when somebody, because we know they have that misinformation, I think if we can take it up as our initiative to educate and I see many of you doing great work when you do cultural festival of nations events, speaking to them in schools and doing presentation in classroom. You can pick up as a topic and just showcase all those kind of pictures, skyscrapers, and all the innovations that is happening, including briefly talk with a lot of information about M-Pesa business technology, all those kind of technologies happening in the country. So yeah, taking those initiatives to educate people and brand the Africa, brand the country you belong to, and all the good things that are happening. Because all the bad stuff, they already know about it and they talk about that. But the good part of it, we have to tell our stories. We have to educate the people and tell our stories as it is. So thank you so much, Samuel. That was a really strong point.
Okay. I mean, I'm very impressed with the way the young people have handled the questions and also the way they are concerned about their continent and also, the way they are concerned about how they are perceived as Africans in this society. And also when other people, other students visit when they come to the United States and the way they are viewed to be. I'm very impressed with that. And I want to applaud them for handling the questions that you shoot to them very well. I have one question though to ask. My question to the American team, I would like to get their views. You all, if you're not aware, let me just maybe bring it to your attention that in Kenya, all students wear uniform. And here in the United States, they don't wear uniform. And I feel like when they wear uniform, you can never tell a child that's coming from a privileged home as opposed to the one who is not coming from a privileged home. And for that matter, they are able to concentrate on their studies without feeling that one thinks is more superior than the other. I just wanted to just get your comments. What do you think about that?
For me, fashion, I agree with what you're saying about how people shouldn't be judged on, or you shouldn't be focusing on what people wear. But at the same time, the way you dress, the way you style yourself, fashion is a way to express yourself. So I think the chance to have and to do and to wear whatever you want to wear, to express who you are through your clothes, that's one of the that may be one of the ways the only way someone knows how to express themselves. And you like taking away from them, it doesn't leave them with anything. While people do get judged for what they're wearing, it's more a bad thing for the people judging them, for it doesn't benefit them whatsoever. I will never understand how somebody gains happiness or joy from putting somebody else down just because of what they wear. But fashion is, or the way you hold yourself, the way you dress yourself, it's a way to express yourself. It's a form of art. So I don't think it should be taken away, but at the same time, people shouldn't judge other people based on the shoes they have, what they're wearing.
Thank you. Any other who has a comment on that?
Yeah, Chloe, go ahead. Ms. Zoe.
I think it comes down to discipline. When we came here, my mother had the same point. I think you just need to understand that you come here for opportunities and for future, to build your future and have a firm foundation. So if you concentrate on how others view you, I mean, it's good to have a good, it's good to look good because that's how people will see you. But then you have to limit yourself and be like, okay, this is what I'm wearing, but I'm here to learn and I'm here to concentrate in class. Once you get that mindset, people's comments will not bother you, and you will not feel lower than anyone. You just mind your business.
Thank you.
Yes, I think everything that they said is really a big thing, because here in America, like, yes, we don't have uniforms, but there's some schools that do wear uniforms. And I feel like because of that, you don't see other, like when you look, since we don't wear uniform, you would see somebody being overdressed for school or somebody being underdressed for school. And I feel like here, like some people do not care what they wear or what other people are wearing. So at the same time, like some people pay no attention to what other people wear. But I also feel like wearing uniform is also a better thing, because you won't see somebody who is wearing the same thing as you as a lower person, or is more privileged or less privileged than you.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you guys about the way, I mean, the part of school. But I think also there is also another aspect that we also have to look at it, that people will always be judgmental. I mean, they will always be judgmental. And one of the biggest way people judge people is actually the way they dress. It's in one of the people struggle with is to impress people by the way they dress. It's consciously or unconsciously will come into your mind when you get into your room and you're dressing for the school. You find that you takes time. You will go every drawer to find what to dress. I mean, between consciously and unconsciously, you worry what people will say or how people will think about it. So in a way, it is it's a challenge there, I understand, but we cannot deny that people will not. We cannot assume people will not judge you. We can also assume that we don't care how people look alike. It's part of life, and it's always going to be there. I think maybe to summarize here, Wendy, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I wanted you to share a little bit about your experiences and what, answering the question that Stella was asking, what's your contribution in Africa, and what are you doing here in St. Louis?
I would say one of my recent experiences with participating and contributing to my community in Africa was over the summer. I was able to travel back to Kenya, and I was a volunteer intern working at KGGA, the Kenya Girl Guides Association. I was able to connect with them over the course of about 3 months. And I was able to do a lot of work pertaining to going around to schools. I was able to help distribute materials to young ladies over the schools in Kenya. I was also able to hold conferences with them, have conversations with them about issues pertaining to their struggles, such as mental health, hygiene in general, and career and college-related choices as far as their options were in Kenya. And I was also able to contribute to multiple events that they were holding pertaining to events like Mashujaa Day and the bigger celebrations that they held in Kenya. They had plans for the celebrations back then that I was able to plan. And I was also able to assist with their campaigns, and they were hosting, I believe at the time that I was set to be coming back to the States, they were about to host an International Youth Day that was a big event for youth from around Kenya and from around Africa in general to come together and conference over issues that might be plaguing their community and how to make them better. So I was a part of that. And so over the course of that time, I was able to meet a lot of very, very cool people and connect with my community. And I think that's an experience that really helped me to understand how to better further my community. And over in St. Louis, I'm actually working with Vitendo for Africa on the Swahili program. I think Stella, Wendy, and I have been planning out and conducting classes to teach Swahili, and our aim is to further our roots, like teach our culture and be able to spread our language to kids here and give them a bit more background pertaining to their heritage. So that has been what I've been working on in the past year or so. And I think I've really learned a lot about how to connect with my community.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you, Stella and Wendy, for the great work that you guys are doing with the Swahili. I've seen parents and kids share great outcomes, great feedbacks from the program. Because of time, I will, is anybody else that is there that maybe I see there's some people who just joined. Was that team from Kenya that just joined?
Yeah, some actually, some of them are from Kenya, and I think we've had a challenge of trying to connect. We've been trying to connect, to talk, to chat of this particular conversation, and it's like they've had so many challenges, and I believe this is just one of the meetings that we are going to be holding, and therefore in future I think we shall be able to be prompt. The challenges are many in terms of networking and digital factors, but I believe they're here. I've seen the principal, Mary Girls, who was supposed to be one of us here, and with the two of students, but it's unfortunate that it's like the judging just at this particular time. But I believe next time we shall be more prompt.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely understand. The logistics backs in there may be different from here, and I think that's why we want people to understand the. We all face different challenges, but glad that you were able to join. But if they can say hi, that's fine. We can just give them a minute to say hi.
Yeah, I've seen Madam Okwasa, the principal, Marigal. Maybe you can just say hi. Madam Okwasa, if you can hear us, just say hi to the group. Madam Okwasa?
Oh, he's on mute.
I think
Can you hear us?
there is also Florence Mangombe.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can
Yes,
hear you.
good
Yes.
evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, madam.
Yeah, glad to join you. We've had some difficulties, but finally I'm in.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
joining. And you have
Madam Florence.
Okay.
Eldoro.
Madam Florence Eldoro, girls. Okay, it seems like
That's
she's
fine.
still
That's
trying.
As long as we got them here, that's good. And then we will try to do maybe better connections next time. Thank you so much, but we appreciate you. This is the first one we're doing, but we among many that will do it. And hopefully we can also be able to have more interactions and maybe also planning more students exchange is also something that we really want to have incorporated in this partnership. With that, I thank you so much. I will pass it over to Dr. Linda from the Africa Chamber of Commerce, maybe to conclude and give us closing remark.
Yes, I want to thank everybody for your contribution. It's very informative. I took down lots of notes. And thank you, Jeff, for putting this together. We really appreciate it. And thank you, Ms. Betty, for coordinating the VOI team. We appreciate all of the effort from the young students and all of your inputs. We're going to combine everything, provide it to Annie, so she can turn it over to her bosses, and we can keep tab of everything that we're planning so that we can be able to make the Sister City project a success. hopefully by this time next year, with more collaboration between the two, the country and the city. So I appreciate your input, and we will have more meetings such as this, and whatever more ideas that you have or information that you have for us, please share with Mr. Jeff, and we'll keep building the team together. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lina. Thank you for your leadership. We understand. Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing you a very nice weekend, and hopefully we can be able to schedule, communicate when we do the next meeting.
Thank you, Jeff.